There was initially only two course of actions set up by the United Nations as well, either to go to Pakistan or go to India. But after quite some time, as these slogans got, I would rather say, they were repeatedly used to gather the popular sentiments of the people on both sides of the area. But a third voice came and it said that we want freedom from both the states. I must say that there have been significant blunders by the current administration vis-a-vis dealing with the Jammu Kashmir Joint Awami Action Committee. The state has, I would rather say, has shown a weaker response towards catering and towards having the solutions offered to the Jammu and Kashmir Joint Awami Action Committee. That is the reason it has emboldened itself time and again. This is a moment of rights of the people, to be given more rights, to be more empowered, to be more integrated into the society. The Jammu Kashmir Awami Action Committee's leaders time and again have constantly said and repeated that they are not against the people of Pakistan, they are not against the government of Pakistan, or for that matter any other institution, but they want to be empowered in such manners. Azad Jammu Kashmir is a very, politically conscious region, and when it comes to the historical, roots of this political consciousness, it is, enrooted into the freedom struggle, the democratic struggle that they have fought for the right to self-determination. And 1947 was the year when basically Azad Jammu and Kashmir people, the people of this area, basically started an indigenous movement, and after that indigenous movement they liberated the area from the Dogra rule, and then they had their government formed by the nomenclature as the Azad government of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, representing the total area which is under the Indian illegal occupation, or for that matter the Gilgit-Baltistan. So this is the basically the struggle that itself defined the political consciousness and the leadership that basically went for such kind of, we could say, the historically, and moved towards the end. But when it comes to the political consciousness, we should be knowing that the process of political consciousness was evolved over the period of the time, and the political leadership basically went into different agreements, went through different protests, and also acquiring the rights from Pakistan and from also the into the international community. It raised its voice. So these were the basically the factors. And when it comes to the subnationalism, the recent wave of the subnationalism that we have witnessed in the Azad Jammu and Kashmir is basically of the certain. There are different certain reasons, including the the linkages between the political intermediaries that have been weakened over the time. The political intermediaries sitting in Muzaffarabad, who were historically a great connection between Islamabad and Muzaffarabad, their role has been diminished. Their role has been weakened due to certain reasons. The first, the reason for that particular thing is because after 2019's revocation of Article 370, we saw that the reaction that was expected by the state of Pakistan and by the people, by the political intermediaries, was not sufficient for the people of the Azad Jammu and Kashmir. They didn't accept such kind of weak response from the state. So, as they considered Pakistan as their biggest supporter in the liberation movement of movement of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. So this basically added to that sentiment. Secondly, when it comes to the governance issues, and specifically the issues of weakening of the state assembly. Now, when we are talking, it's the third prime minister elected from the same assembly, and what procedures have been, they had been taken for this course is something which has weakened the political setup. I would rather say that yes, there is a certain attraction to the slogans of the Jammu Kashmir Liberation Front, and because as they talk about and they are very popular amongst the youth due to long lingering history of the dispute that the 7 decades and so have passed, but but we could not get the solution to the dispute, and when there was initially only two course of actions that were being set up by the United Nations as well, either to go to Pakistan or go to India. But after quite some time, as these slogans got, I would rather say, they were repeatedly used to gather the popular sentiments of the people on both sides of the area. But a third voice came and it said that we want freedom from both the states because of the fatigue to that 7 decades long dispute, plus I would rather say the attraction to this concept of identity politics that has taken shape into the recent decades throughout the world. This has reshaped the slogans, and it has definitely attracted the larger audience of the Jammu and Kashmir. But we can't say that the appeal of Pakistan is somehow being compromised over this. It's not the case, but yes, there is a popular segment of the society which basically is tilted towards the freedom struggle in those directions which JKLF talks about. Basically, because the Azad Jammu and Kashmir, this movement is not led by the political people. They are led by mostly the traders. So I would rather say that they are just confined towards getting low or short-term goals, I would rather say. But actually, what matters is that redefining of the relationship in sense of political and economic autonomy and the opportunities is important with Islamabad and Muzaffarabad, and there should be a new social contract between the youth of Pakistan and the youth of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, for that matter, when it comes to addressing such the grievances. And these are the grievances of the governance. Ideologically, Pakistan and the youth of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, they are very integrated and towards each other, and the integration of the AJK society into the Pakistan is witnessed of the fact that you see that the Azad Jammu and Kashmir has more than 5 to 6, I would rather say, higher officers in army, the rank of lieutenant general and major generals, rather 9 they are. Then we do have representation not only into the business and trade of Pakistan, but we also have large representation in the foreign services of Pakistan. Azad Jammu and Kashmir being a very small area and with a less population, it still represents people, Pakistan at United Nations. Its people represent Pakistan at different highest level forums. And I would also rather say that academicians and the top-notch policymakers are also from Azad Jammu and Kashmir. And this integration tells a lot about the trust of Pakistan on AJK and vice versa. basically, there, as I have told you, that Jammu Kashmir Joint Awami Action Committee, it was a very small scale movement which was initiated solely on the basis of the economic problems or quota system on the floor, probably, and the electricity issues. But it became it went to a larger scale due to the certain, I would rather say, miscalculations of the government, plus the support of the diaspora that it is getting. And because the Jammu and Kashmir Awami Action Committee is playing with the popular sentiments of the people, so they are getting the popular support from the public as well. When I could deconstruct what were the reasons behind it, I could say that there was a sense of deprivation, specifically when it comes to the economic justice in Azad Kashmir, and that is the reason that the elite class is being perceived as the class which is taking too much privileges in the name of, I would rather say, Kashmir movement, and no substantive things have been achieved in over 8 decades, which is not the case actually. I could just deconstruct the whole narrative as well, because when we see the nomenclature of the Azad government of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, it itself is an achievement which has been carried over the 8 decades. Why I say so is because it represents the base camp utility of Azad Jammu and Kashmir government, which represents the whole units of the larger state of Jammu and Kashmir, including Gilgit-Baltistan, including Srinagar, and including the Ladakh and Leh. So this itself, and then when it comes to the economic problems as well, Azad Jammu and Kashmir, I must say, is more economically stable than any other region of Pakistan, and this fact has to be reiterated again and again. If you could recall that over the past 7 decades, the schools, the colleges, 6 universities, I could say 3 medical colleges, these are all because of the political process which has taken place. And secondly, it is due to the Azad government's I would rather say its presence that the Kashmir dispute is still alive. I must not undermine the sacrifices of the IIOJK people, but yes, it's legal and it's political and it's social support that it gets from Azad Kashmir's government at international forum, at national level, is commendable. The state has, I would rather say, has shown a weaker response towards catering and towards having the solutions offered to the Jammu and Kashmir Joint Awami Action Committee. That is the reason it has emboldened itself time and again, and this should be the case, that it should not be treated as something, a foreign agenda. It is an indigenous movement and it must be taken as an indigenous movement. Yes, there are elements in the diaspora which have the linkages with some foreign countries, including India most importantly, but this movement largely is an indigenous movement, and it should be treated as such, and it should not be dubbed and narrated in a simplistic form that it is all the agenda based on some foreign I would rather say agenda. It's not like that. I would rather say that protesters do such things, and Jammu and Kashmir Awami Action Committee is doing nothing new. But yes, it is the continuation of that process which have been there for 2 long years, and which have been emboldened by the government, the Azad Jammu and Kashmir government itself, the setup. When there is no opposition, your sentiments are not voiced at the right forum. When the political intermediaries are not taken on board, board while making decisions. When you discredit the political process yourself, and specifically also when you somehow show a weak response and non-serious attitude towards any kind of I would rather say demands by the local people, they embolden such movements. And specifically in the times when the identity politics is as rise, and there was a narrative which was also misinterpreted about the revocation of Article 370, that it would be somehow it would be somehow wiping off the Kashmir issue from the international forum. Rather, it was not the case. It was misinterpreted. It should be understood that the Article 370 was or is the part of Constitution of India, and the Kashmiris' right to self-determination has to do nothing with the Constitution of India. Rather, it is enshrined into the United Nations resolutions. We have to think about this, and we have to forward this agenda. As far as 29 September's call at the moment is concerned, the negotiations between the federal representatives and the people of Azad Kashmir, the Joint Awami Action Committee representatives have taken place, but most of the I would rather say the demands, the 38 points charter, that they have that is nothing more significant than the political setup which it could not give. So most of the demands, I guess, they were met as well, but only two demands are having hindrances. The one is about the seats of the refugees in AJK Assembly, and the second is about the elites privileges. So these demands definitely need more insights and more deeper understanding about this, because as far as the refugee seats are concerned, it has to do more about the larger state identity of the larger state of Jammu and Kashmir, and the issue of Kashmir is linked to with the refugee seat. Yes, the refugee seats are 12. It could be minimized. They could be minimized to 3 or 4, and their process of elections could be debated and it could be reformed. But altogether, wiping, I would rather say, the representation of the refugees from the AJK Assembly would not do good to the cause of the Kashmir. And secondly, the elites privileges. Yes, there is a dire need to look into this matter. When a person sees such privileges and such misuse of the privileges, then there is the discontent in the society, and the social contract is definitely, it is weakened. So these are the things which have to be taken on board. But this requires a proper constitutional process which has to be followed by the assembly's vetting. So it could not be immediately given to the protesters, and this has to be understood by the JK Awami Action Committee's leadership as well. But I hope that sanity would prevail. As I have earlier told, that they are all traders and not a political, I would rather say, representatives. So hopefully they would understand. The thing is that Pakistan should be responding to this wave of subnationalism in a way, in a manner that it should not be equating it with the separatist movements or the insurgencies, for that matter, that are going on in different areas of Pakistan, for that matter. This is a movement of rights of the people, to be given more rights, to be more empowered, to be more integrated into the society. The Jammu Kashmir Awami Action Committee's leaders time and again have constantly said and repeated that they are not against the people of Pakistan, they are not against the people of, so for that matter, the government of Pakistan, or for that matter any other institution, but they want to be empowered in such manners. So this thing should be cleared, and they should not be linked with any foreign, I would rather say, agenda or country for that matter. It is an indigenous movement. It should be treated indigenously, and they should be taken on board. They should be given representation, in a more representation through elected representatives, and this process of democracy should continue. No one in Azad Jammu and Kashmir is against Pakistan. I could vouch for that. But the thing is that there are some grievances about the governance. There are some grievances about the I would rather say the processes, vis-a-vis administrative issues. So these things have to be sorted out, and they should not be treated as puppets of some foreign agenda. There are people in the diaspora who have been worked, who have been identified somehow damaging the cause of Kashmir internationally as well. They should be excluded, and they should be treated differently. And I would also say that Jammu and Kashmir Awami Action Committee, it should also distance itself from those elements who are openly challenging and criticizing the Pakistan's government's or Pakistan state's writ and Azad Kashmir government's writ. So it is very important that it should be seen separate from those movements, and they should be dealt with a different approach.